Hi, everyone. This is Michele Grimolia. I am the President and CEO here at Woodland Pond. Today is Tuesday, October 19th, 2021, and this is my weekly update on a Tuesday. So I have a few things to cover. As always, you can find this re-aired again at 8 p.m. on WPTV, and it will be available on our YouTube channel. I will send the email link out when I am done with this today. So I will just start with a COVID update. We have no known or suspected cases on campus. We have no exposures or suspected exposures that were reported through the weekend. So, the numbers are looking pretty good for right now. So let's knock on some wood with that. We are continuing to comply with all of the infection control directives of New York State and the CDC. We're still attempting to collect as much information as we can about boosters. It seems like there's somewhat inconsistent information every day. I know some of you have been able to secure boosters through private means, and certainly you are encouraged to do so. For our health center residents, I am hoping that we're going to have an announcement very soon about when we're going to be able to secure the boosters for the Pfizer vaccine. For all of the residents of the health center that were vaccinated with us the first time around. And that would apply to staff that are interested as well at this point. So just stay tuned on booster information, and we will keep you posted if anything changes that we can inform you of. The CDC has begun coming out with information about how to safely participate in holiday activities. It seems like the messaging is smaller gatherings with vaccinated people are best. Certainly indoors, if you're going to be indoors, small gatherings, mainly being around people that are vaccinated is going to be the safest thing to do. We are currently working through, and I've asked Ronnie and Chef Mike to meet with me this week to discuss holiday plans for meals here on campus, what we're going to do with the dining rooms, what we're going to do with staff meals, and so forth. And we will get some more information out to you about that. But the holidays are kind of knocking on our door, so we are going to get that information, in the works and figure out what we're going to do there. But I just encourage all of you to keep an eye on any news that comes out related from the CDC about, the safest ways to participate in holiday activities with your loved ones. We're in a much different spot than we were last year because we got such a high vaccination rate at this point. But the virus is still real and it's still virulent. So we have to just make sure that we're extra safe and extra careful. And we will be getting information out to you about what to expect on campus as the next couple of weeks go on. A little bit of breaking news. You should have gotten an announcement by now, either on your telephone or your text or your email, that we were informed that there is a water main break on Mountain Rest Road here in New Paltz. And the town water department indicated that we may see discolored water or see some interruptions of service. So if you are experiencing that, you can attribute that to the water main break. I don't know if we've had any reports of it yet, but just keep an eye on that. And if this looks like it's going to be a prolonged impact, we will let you know. Let's see, another timely announcement. So today is your last opportunity to vote for the slate of nominated candidates for the Residence Council. So if you would like to vote for your selected candidates, you can go to the classroom by 1 p.m. today and cast an in-person ballot. Some of you have cast absentee ballots, but for those that haven't voted yet, you are more than welcome, and we really encourage participation. So if you haven't voted yet, you should go to the classroom. You have till 1 o'clock today. My understanding is that at 1 o'clock, the voting will shut down, and that the new members of the Residence Council that will come on in January will be announced sometime this afternoon. So thank you to everyone that has worked on this effort, the nominating committee, the Residence Council. Thank you to all of the candidates. We have a ton this year, so that's really exciting. And working with the Residence Council is one of my favorite activities on campus. So I look forward to seeing who comes in and working with you starting at the turn of the year. Another timely announcement, if you've been anywhere near the Arts Studio, or if you've looked in your mail cubicles, you've seen some activity or announcements about our employee free store. So for those of you that are newer to campus, the employee free store is something that we have done in a variety of different formats here at the community for about 8 years, maybe 9. It's a way that individuals, staff can get access to gently used items that are donated by either other staff members, members of the public, or residents. So, we all have stuff around that we don't use anymore. Maybe it's not useful to us for whatever reasons. And the item still has life in it. It's still just gently used. You just may not have a use for it anymore. So the beginning of this week, yesterday and today, and the early part of tomorrow, actually, anybody that has an item to donate that is in good working order, but maybe just doesn't need to be used by you in your home anymore, can bring those to the art studio. And then at the end of this week, our staff members will have the opportunity to shop the free store. And in order to shop the free store, it just means that they can go in and select a limited number of items each day so that we have enough to go around. But it's the ability to just give people, an opportunity to access gently used items, find new homes for things. There's certainly no reason that we need to be always purchasing new. There's a lot of things floating around everywhere that have plenty of life left in them. I love that we offer this. There's some really cool stuff in there, and I always love to look around and see what people are bringing in. It gives me an opportunity to get rid of those purses that I haven't used in a couple of years, or some of the kids' toys that they've grown out of, or whatever the case may be. So if you're a resident or even a staff member that's seeing this address and you have items around in your home, or especially in your storage cages, that you're not going to use, but definitely somebody else could benefit from. If you'd like to donate those to the free store, you can bring those to the art studio today or the early part of tomorrow. Certainly, I don't think we'd turn anyone away if you brought something on Thursday or Friday or Saturday either, but those will be the staff shop days. And that this is for staff free store shopping. And we do appreciate all of the donations. So thank you very much. Tomorrow, a couple of exciting calendar events. We do have the management Q&A, which is when all of the department heads come and answer questions, talk about things that are new and notable in their departments. That's going to be tomorrow at 1:30 in the PAC, and that will be live streamed on WPTV. And then tomorrow in the evening time at 7 p.m., we have a chamber music concert featuring Marcia Gates, who is the daughter of a past resident, Dottie Wall. And Marcia's been coming here with her musical friends and acquaintances to come and put chamber music concerts on for us for years. I think this might be the first one, or maybe second, since the pandemic. And she's got a whole crew of folks that will be coming with her. Yes, we've got another flautist, a cellist, and a pianist. So they'll all be here tomorrow at 7 p.m. If you have not seen them perform, or you're hungry to get out and be with your neighbors, tomorrow in the PAC would be wonderful. We are increasing the seating for resident-only events to 100. So that's so exciting. We've turned another corner. We can do that now. So tomorrow night, please come out around 7 and enjoy that event. We have, looking forward to the rest of the week as this goes on. We do have Larry and Susan will be performing in the courtyard at 4 p.m. on Friday. So that the musical in the courtyard, just wonderful. Everybody really enjoys that. So you will be able to enjoy that as well. Let's see. The next thing I want to just mention, a couple of housekeeping type things. First and foremost, if you ever feel like you have something that has gone missing from your apartment, your cottage, your home and assisted living, or garden view, or skilled nursing, please, I'm speaking right to all of you, please contact us right away. Please contact us right away if you feel like anything has gone missing. We will come help you search, and then quickly, if we find nothing, we are going to always 100% of the time encourage you to file a police report. We are not a police department. We are not detectives. We do not want to create any kind of an environment where, something going missing is acceptable. In the 12 years since we've been open, we've actually had many residents that have been certain that something is missing and then eventually does turn up. But God forbid we have an issue where for some reason something walked away or something was taken. We want the police to be the ones handling that. So we're always going to ask that you consider calling the police department. And I personally feel like you always should call the police department. We are happy to help you search initially. But if you are certain or you feel that something is missing or has been taken, we want the police involved 100%. And I want to just emphasize that. We cannot and will not tolerate any kind of, burglary, robbery, anything like that, any kind of theft. Again, we haven't had any on campus that has ever been confirmed. Anything that has been thought to be missing has generally always been found, and so we're always thrilled about that. We're always happy to help you search, but it's always better to have the police department come. They're right down the road. They're actually even closer now, and they're happy to help. So please, please, please keep that in mind if you are afraid that something has gone missing. At the same time, we also know that a lot of you keep your doors unlocked, and that is not a good practice at all. You should be locking your doors at all times, not only for purposes of the safety and security of your belongings, which is critical, but because we have folks in the building that might have cognitive impairment. There's nothing that says that if you have an unlocked apartment, that someone that has dementia that might be taking a stroll throughout the building, which is permitted, and that's certainly something someone can do, accidentally goes into your apartment and finds your pill sorter on the counter, maybe accidentally takes your medication. We've never had reports of that, but on campus. We do have cameras in certain locations so that we can make sure that, if there's any issues of concern, we're catching it. We have nothing is being caught on the cameras by any means. But we have to ask that everybody locks their cars, locks their apartments, locks their cottages. It's no different than if you would be at home. And this is just a friendly reminder of that. And again, if you have any concerns at all, come see any member of management, come see concierge, come see me, and we'll get you situated and help you with anything that you might be concerned about. It's a beautiful day today. It's gorgeous outside. So first, I'm hoping that everybody gets outside at some point, number one. Number two, we have started to begin to receive a concerning number of increased complaints about the condition of the exteriors of some of the homes here on campus. So whether it be a cottage or an apartment, even some public areas, residents are kind of going a little bit too far in terms of what you're collecting outside of your places. We are going to be really starting to kind of do a deeper dive in terms of folks that are accumulating too much stuff outside, to the point where it's creating either an invitation for pests, which is our biggest concern. It's starting to get cold outside. Anything that any animal can nest in is going to be attractive to them. So if you've got, old boxes, pieces of equipment, things out there that anybody can nest in, they're going to be looking for those opportunities. We cannot have that at all. We should be thinking minimalist, 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 especially anything close to the building. We cannot be inviting any kind of pests near the building, because then that brings other pests near the building and into the building. So we are really going to be making rounds on, what the exteriors of all of our spaces look like, especially close to the building. I do anticipate that we will be reviewing a lot of the resident handbook, as we typically do. A lot of winters, we haven't done it in a few years, but oftentimes in the winter, when there's not a ton of other things going on, we like to take the opportunity to work with the Residents Council to update the policies in the handbook. And I anticipate that, looking at the language in the handbook about what is, an allowable or invited item outdoors, I have a feeling we're definitely going to be looking at that because we can't have accumulations of too many belongings outside of any apartment, cottage, or public area because it creates safety issues, trip hazards, and certainly invitations for pests, which we just cannot have. So if we do speak to you about either an overgrowth of, landscape items that's untamed, items that shouldn't be outside, today would be a great day for you to go outside yourself and really clean up your areas. If you have things that you just aren't going to utilize, but they're kind of sitting there, we have got the free store going on. Just, ask somebody to help you to bring the items to the free store. It's a good day for a cleanup. So let's do that outside so that we can get ready for winter. Last couple of things relate to dining. So Ronnie is excited to announce that we will be bringing the burgers back to the dinner menu on the 25th, which is Monday. So if you are craving a burger, which I know a lot of you say that you are, and I can understand that because burgers are yummy, on the 25th, Monday, you can start getting those in the dining room again. We are also offering brunch again on Sundays at 12 and 12:30. Those are 2 seatings for brunch. And the menus are always issued ahead of time, and I see nice variety on those menus. So help yourselves to brunch on Sundays. And although we do allow walk-ins for our seatings right now, it's always better for reservations. And Ronnie has just asked me to remind you that the best way to make reservations by far is via email. And the email address to utilize is dservices. So as if you were writing dining services, so the letter D and then the word services. So dservices@wpatnp.org. Again, that's dservices@wpatnp.org. So those are some dining things. And last but not least, although I think I already said that, but this is really last but not least, if you have been in the community building this week, you have seen some office moves have happened. So we had identified that we had a need for space for some of our people. And so the PAC Annex, which was wildly underutilized, was repurposed into a beautiful conference room, thanks to the folks that provided that gorgeous artwork and the gorgeous photos. So you got a nice conference room where the PAC Annex was to make space for an actual business office. So Christy Battistoni, our director of finance, and then the 2 gals that work billing for us and some financial assistants work in that office, which used to be the conference room. So that's where you would go to pay your bills now or get a receipt. And so that's right next to human resources. And then what used to be a combination administrative suite and finance is now strictly an administrative suite where Jason is now sitting upstairs in Christy's old office. And then we're going to have other cubicles in the office space for folks that need revolving space to utilize for work, because we have a lot of people that work part-time. They need desk space, they need office space, they don't have it. So we were able to create that space for them so that they can sit and do their work when they're here on campus. So go ahead and feel free to visit folks in their new locations. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Thank you.